This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group, and your host of Tonight with Frank Islam. Today, we are fortunate to have a guest who inspires all of us to do well, and he has been volunteering in Pakistan. So we are fortunate to have Todd Shea.
Hello, sir. It's
How
so
are
nice
you,
to
Todd?
see you again.
How you been?
Good, good. Very good.
So tell us about yourself. Your background is a musician.
Yeah, I grew up playing music.
And you still play music?
Yes, yeah, I still play music. I grew up and ended up playing professionally in bands. I got a record deal, and a gentleman named Sid Bernstein, who brought the Beatles and the Rolling Stones to America, signed me. He had set up a showcase for me at CBGB's nightclub on September 12th, 2001. But unfortunately, the day before that was 9/11. I put my guitar down. I went down to ground zero.
Your dream when it crashed?
Well, you know, the way I look at it is, in one sense, yes, but I also, when I was down at ground zero when 9/11 happened, and after working there for about a week, I realized that serving humanity was what I really wanted to do. The pursuit of music in terms of commercial success and a career lost its luster. I lost the desire on that day, and from that day on, I just wanted to do whatever I could personally do to serve the poor and suffering, and to make sure I could do whatever I could do so that there was never a 9/11 again.
You can make a difference.
To make a difference, yes, and
So
make a better world for my son, who at the time was 12.
oh, wow. So it reminds me when someone said that you said you went to New York and saw this stands a silent sentry in a hollowed hall. Very well said. You're talking about that incident that occurred in 9/11. So what made you to go to Pakistan to become a volunteer?
Well, I had gone to Hurricane Katrina, I'd gone to Belize, I had gone to the tsunami in Sri Lanka, and after 9/11. So after my deployments that year in 2005 to Sri Lanka and then to Hurricane Katrina, I was kind of, ready to start my own organization. And I was starting to think about starting my own organization of logistics and disaster relief. But I got back from 9/11 to Maryland and literally walked in the door, hugged my son, turned on the television, earthquake in Pakistan. So I was still in disaster response mode, right? So I said to my son, I'm going to Pakistan. I didn't know how I was getting there, who I was going with. I didn't know
You didn't
anything.
have a clue.
Not a clue, but I knew I was going, and God put that feeling in my heart, because I knew that if I had not answered that feeling in my heart to go, that I would have felt very guilty and would not have been able to sleep. I knew that I could do something to help people. In the other disasters I'd been to, I was very helpful to volunteers and doctors in terms of helping them with their logistics needs so that they could do their job helping people.
You went to Pakistan.
So I went to, I called the Pakistan embassy, and I talked to a gentleman named Aslam Khan. I think his name is Muhammad Aslam Khan, was the DCM at the time. Yes. So he said, yes. I asked him, if there's a team, can I go? Is there anybody that needs any help? Let me know. So he said, yes, there is a team of doctors. He mentioned APNA. I'd never heard of them, but that was the first time. Exactly. Now I know them very well. But at that time, I had no idea. So he said, there's some APNA doctors going. I'll put you in touch with them. I got in touch with, they gave me the number. Dr. Atif Malik was a gentleman. And so I literally, from that moment on, was involved in Pakistan. Within a few days after helping get the equipment together, I went to Pakistan. I was going to stay for 2 weeks to help. After 2 weeks, the first team of doctors went back home. They asked me to stay and look after the new doctors coming, the new batch. So I thought, this is a wonderful way to serve humanity. There was a lot of need there. Then I stayed a couple more months. Then at that point, I fell in love with the people, especially the children, the mountains, the Kana. I've gained the Kana. I've gained about 120 pounds since that time. In almost 13 years, because I love the food. It's been a love affair that just been amazing, just in terms of the food. And also the people there thank you by feeding you, and they love to feed you, and they don't take no for an answer if you...
Because the people believe in hospitality.
Exactly. So because of those two things, me loving food and them loving to feed me, it has been
Win-win situation.
a weight-gaining journey. But it's been a beautiful, amazing journey.
So where do you-
बहुत मज़ेदार लजीज खाना.
So what did you say?
I said बहुत मज़ेदार and laziz खाना, which basically means very delicious and good food.
Bahut, that means the delicious food.
Yeah, very, very delicious. Yes.
food. Very well said.
So you went to Pakistan. What part of Pakistan, and where did you stay? What did you do, and how were you able to embrace the art and the culture and the of Pakistan?
Well, I've always considered myself a traveler, and I'm very fascinated by traveling and experiences and new people and new cultures. So I kind of fell right in. I mean, I've never been bothered or felt out of place. A lot of times I'm in a village, I'm the only white guy for many, many miles, in fact. And it just doesn't bother me because I look at anybody else as a human being.
The human being.
I don't care what color they are. It doesn't make any difference.
You cannot communicate to them. There is still human being.
Yeah, and you can communicate. It's amazing. I've learned by going to other countries just how much you can communicate with someone even if you don't know their language and they don't know yours. But I've picked up a few words along the way, and I have some people that translate for me. So, you know, being in Pakistan has been, in a personal way, an incredible journey of learning a new culture and seeing a place and a people that are often demonized and maligned in our media. And you know, the media here tells 2% of the truth 100% of the time. So that other 98% Americans never see, your average Americans who don't know about Pakistan. And it's very sad.
It's not just they do not know about Pakistan. Average American do not know too much about any other part of the world.
Exactly, but Pakistan is one of those places that's extra demonized.
They are, because the fact that they, you know, my wife is no different. They rather go to the Western Europe than going to other part of the world, because this is where their heritage and their history is. That's what they're bounded by. Yeah. So there was so you went over there, you stayed there. And
in Azad Kashmir, they call it.
You went, that's the other part of the
Pakistan administered
Kashmir.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful place.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the foothills of the Himalayas.
Incredibly beautiful. And since that time, in the last 13 years, I've worked in every corner of Pakistan. There are floods, like 5 or 6 major floods, earthquakes. There's been 3 earthquakes. There has been refugees crisis. There's been a heat emergency and monsoons. All types of disasters. My team has worked in all over Pakistan. And so I've spent a lot of time all over Pakistan. In fact, although we have an office and a residence that we rent in Islamabad, I'm hardly there. In 9 months of 2017, I was in Pakistan. And during that time, I went from Karachi to Chitral to Lahore to, you name it, we pretty much all over Pakistan, because we have 23 youth chapters. They're doing water projects, they're doing computer labs for children. We teach them about disaster relief. Even they are rescuing kutas and billies, cats and dogs. Doing animal welfare. I mean, all kinds of community service stuff. And we're also partnering those teams and our logistics team with donors here who want to do a personal project. Maybe a water project, maybe a school, or build a small medical center. So we're doing a lot of those type of partnerships and projects. So I've been all over Pakistan, and even also went to the Rohingya camps.
That's in Burma.
Yeah, well, we went to the camps just inside Bangladesh where the people were escaping. So I could see literally Burma border a mile away.
What is suffering and struggle?
Oh God, it is the hardest, the most difficult mission I've seen in terms of human suffering and the numbers. It's just unbelievable.
So you went to Pakistan, you did all those things, you continue to do all those things. You speak the language.
Thora samajh.
Thora
understand a little.
Thora samajhte hain, right? I think I said it right. So the people that you have been dealing, interacting and engaging with the Pakistani American community, tell me your experience with that. Have they been generous to your effort and to what you're doing in Pakistan?
Well, there's a certain percentage that are very much seeing me as I have seen Pakistanis as human beings. And when they look at me as a human being, it's easy for them to appreciate what I'm doing and understand what I'm doing and donate to what I'm doing. But there's also a segment of the community who doesn't understand what I'm doing. And the reason they don't understand what I'm doing is because they have seen Goras come to that part of the world and do wrong things. They've seen spying. They've seen people misbehaving, like Raymond Davis.
All of the above.
Yeah, they've seen CIA doing tricks. They've seen the British doing tricks. So Goras, white people, are not necessarily by everybody trusted there, and for good reason. So there are, especially in the older generation, people look at a Gora working in Pakistan and they think, why would this guy go there unless he's maybe taking money for himself and maybe he's got up to something, who knows, maybe he's spying, maybe he's CIA. So there is that inherent mistrust, and people have been burned before.
But that's a building.
Yeah, so there's that with some of the community. And with that part of the community, it's much easier for them to donate to somebody that they looks like them, talks like them, they know very well. And it's a little harder to look at me and then pull the wallet out when you have these biases and things that have built up. And like I said, not without reason, that these things are
So they have the past history.
Yeah, the past history is there. And so I come along just doing what I do as one human being who's serving
the
humanity. And I get into trouble, one thing I know, that if you serve humanity, and I've learned this very clearly, if you're serving humanity, even for all the right reasons, with all your heart and soul,
that is,
not only will you be
you're
judged,
still pointing the finger of suspicion.
well, not only by that community that you're serving, some of them, but you also by your own community. So I have people in Pakistan, or Pakistani Americans, who think I'm the CIA, and then I've got Goras who think I'm Taliban, so you can't win for losing, no matter what you do. No good deed goes unpunished.
That is true. So we'll be right back in a minute. So hold on to your thoughts.
जी सर.
We'll be right back.
अब आपका होगा अपना घर, सपना घर। Your dreams can come true. SAI mortgage is key for you. अपना घर खरीदने और रीफाइनेंस करवाने के लिए SAI mortgage से राब्ता करें।
Don't make a move without SAI.
So we're back with Todd Shea. So Todd, you lived in Pakistan. You went there, served the humanity. You are the best that you can be. You're serving the Pakistani community because you believe in it. You believe in serving the community. And they do an attack on you, attacking all of us. As President Kennedy once attacked one faith, it's attacking all faith. When we attack each other, we are turning apart the harmonious fabric of our nation. So, since you live there, a lot of people there met you there in Pakistan. So there are a lot of young people who are watching this show. What the message do you have for them to be inspired by your story, by your journey, and what you were able to accomplish in Pakistan and continue to do so in America? What's the message for them?
Well, in 13 years, while it's been a challenge, the good and the smiles we've created, the beautiful children and families that were in really bad shape, that we helped out of a real mess in so many disasters, in so many large-scale disasters, and even people's personal disasters, people that have been harmed in different ways. That has been worth all of the pain and misery. When you're there to serve humanity, you know it's not going to be easy, because disasters are very hard to see. They're very hard to deal. You're there personally absorbing so much heartbreak and pain as it is. So that's actually even harder than to not be trusted by some people for what I've done. My message is to people, especially the youth, not only in Pakistan but around the world, is take some time. Of course, educate yourself, get a good job, take care of your family, no doubt about it. But always leave some time for serving your community on the local scale and the global scale. Always reach out, and because it's not just what somebody does towards good or evil in the world that adds up to the sum of what humanity is. It's also what they don't do that they could have done. If there's good that you could have done today that you didn't do, well, that also is going to count towards the deficit of what's good. Somebody that didn't lift a hand to help another when they could have. So none of us can do it all, but we all can do some. And if we all do some, then that's going to make a huge collective difference. So that would be my message. You know, I have been checked out thoroughly by the ISI, by the Internal Bureau of Investigation.
And
the
ISI is that
the Inter-Services Intelligence, the
one in Pakistan.
The intelligence agency of Pakistan. So, and there's other intelligence agencies and police agencies in Pakistan, and there's the federal government, Interior Ministry. I have been fully investigated and checked out and absolutely clean. My NGO is clean, and I am personal clean. Yeah, after 13 years, they know me very well. The Army knows me very well. The citizenry that in the villages where I work, they ask me, please never leave, because we built that trust. They've seen my team working. They've seen me working. But over here in the States, where you're a bit far away, that's where the trust deficit is actually more, because there I've been on ground. Like the last year, I spent 9 of the last 12 months there, and only a couple months here for fundraising. And that's what I try to do every year.
So you're going to go back over there, Pakistan?
Yeah, I'll be going back after this couple months of fundraising season. I'll visit APNA meeting and go around from here to California and back. And then I'll go back to Pakistan.
And when are you going back to Pakistan?
It'll be at the end of April.
So that'll be hot there.
It'll be hot, yeah. It'll be hot.
And can you handle it?
Well, I mean, since coming to Pakistan, I've been to Haiti, the Philippines.
Oh my gosh.
And these disasters, of course, the Rohingya camps. I've also been to Japan. So I do emergency disaster relief in other countries as well. But because I fell in love with Pakistan, and that's where I started my actual organization, we have our biggest footprint, and we do our relief and development work there. And we actually have a way for youth both here and in Pakistan, and we're going to hopefully go around the globe. We have a CDRS youth program. That youth program, what it does is we give them training and we give them opportunities to serve. We put their work on Facebook, whatever kind of community service they want to do. Because the idea is to do some kind of community service, whatever it is. The project is to encourage and support and reward community service in the youth. So they can do any kind of work, whatever it is.
So it's not just the financial support, it's the time, talent, and energy you give.
Absolutely. And what we do is we marry their project, or we basically marry teams in different parts of Pakistan with people that live here, and that's their home village. They have no time to go. They've got money, but they've got no time, and they don't have their own team to do a personal project.
You can facilitate that.
Yeah, we've got people with a lot of time but no money, and we put them together. We give them the tax deduction because we're a 501c3 organized charity.
So how do the people get hold of you if they want to make the financial contribution to your organization?
They can go to cdrsworld.org.
Say it one more time.
www.cdrsworld.org, and they can get in touch with us. And they can talk to us about their project that they want to do. They can support our Mother Child Health Center in the mountains of Swat. They can support our Child Health Clinic in Gujarat. They can support different projects that we're doing, but they can also support their own project that they want to do. Maybe they wanted to build a school in a faraway village that they're originally from, or that their fathers' fathers are from. Or maybe they want to build a medical facility. Maybe they want to help poor ladies who've lost their husbands, or they want to help orphans. Whatever they want to do.
They can do.
Yeah, because the reason we're able to do all of these different things well is because we are a logistics team. So our work as logistics has always been to make other people effective. Yes, I'm not an expert doctor. I can't give you heart surgery and fix your heart, but the doctor that came over and worked with us in disaster, he wouldn't have been able to operate without us because we provided his medicines, his equipment, his transportation, his communications, his fuel, his operation theater, his helicopters, his intel, his liaison with other organizations, all of his equipment, whatever he needs, if he needs a sleeping bag. So all of those things we take care of so that he can take, instead of spending his time fooling around getting all that together, he can go to a disaster zone in the middle of some horribly affected place and he can do great work because he only has to think about his skills as a doctor. And that's what we do for our donors as well that want to do their own personal project. So we invite everybody to come work with us. And not only am I'm staking my reputation on it, they can call each of several dozen Pakistani Americans who have done personal projects with us. They can call them up. Yeah, we have references and they're all willing to talk to you They're willing to talk to you. We have people like F-16 Air Force pilot for the Pakistan military until the late 90s who moved to Boston and now lives there. His name is Shahid Dad. He built a welfare city with TCF schools and Hunar Foundation Training Academy, Human Development Foundation outreach, community outreach project, and a LRBTI clinic. He's building SOS Children's Villages. We have put together a child health clinic on that property. And so it's people like that and many others that we've worked with who are very, very satisfied with our work that we've done there. So we just want to do more work because here's the bottom line, Sergi. If people don't like me because I'm a white guy or they don't trust me and they don't donate because of that reason, well, they're only hurting their own children in Pakistan. So let's not hurt children in Pakistan by denying them things that they need. There's a lot of organizations working in Pakistan. People should try their best. Pick one or two to give big check to, but take 10 or 15. If you're investing in the stock market, you're going to diversify. Same thing with your humanitarian work. Diversify your investment. Even if you give $1 to 10 or 15 other charities, then you're spreading your money around. If 1 million people do that, that's $1 million for my organization. So diversify, do small investments as well as large. Don't think that too small is too small, or is, some people have come up to me and say, oh, we can't give you a big check because we just gave, and we don't want to give you a small check, that's insulting to you. No, if you give me $1, I appreciate that $1, because if we do that in numbers, then we have a big amount. So nobody should ever feel bad about giving me a small amount.
So when we come back after the break, I want you to talk about Dil Pakistan.
Take it, sir.
And then I want to talk to you about the challenges you faced when you were there.
We'll be right back.
अब आपका होगा अपना घर सपना घर। Your dreams can come true. SAI mortgage is key for you. अपना घर खरीदने और रीफाइनेंस करवाने के लिए SAI mortgage से राब्ता करें।
Don't make a move without SCI.
Welcome back with Todd Shea. So Todd, you live in Pakistan and you acquired a lot of knowledge and experience in the arts and culture. So tell us a little about Dil Pakistan. What is that?
Well, it's kind of like the second national song of Pakistan, written by Junaid Jamshed, and it's a song that took everybody's hearts, and so people love that song, and because they love that song,
so
I enjoy playing it. You know, because it's a very catchy tune. It's a good song.
Can you say?
Sure. Dil Pakistan, Jan Jan Pakistan, Dil Pakistan, Jan Jan Pakistan. That's the chorus. There's some verses, but I'm better at it when I have my guitar in my hand. But basically, I learned that song early on because I wanted to sing for the children while they were waiting for the medical camps that we would do. Connect with people in the village. But then I started using that to not only learn the culture and a little bit of the language of Pakistan, but to play music and be a musician again, and learn a new form of music and learn something and about a new culture. So I started playing with Pakistani musicians and singers, and I've played with many stars over the years, done concerts with them, some of them fundraisers, some just for fun, and it's been absolutely incredible. Right now, I've actually joined the band of a singer named Sanam Marvi. She played in the DC area recently and did a concert, and we also, I performed with her on a song and performed with her in a couple songs in previous shows in that tour. So I've joined her band. I'm going to go back and take a little bit of time out of work to study under a couple of her musicians. Her flute player, Rahat Anayat Ali, he's amazing.
Oh,
so
yes.
I'll be studying with him, and it's just another amazing thing about Pakistan.
Another thing to explore.
To explore, and so
you try to explore the new horizon.
Exactly. So the
new
music
frontier.
Exactly. So the music it's a way to communicate. It's a way to
engage,
to engage and learn. And I honestly, if I was playing in front of a crowd of 17,000 people in America, I don't get the same enjoyment. And I have played in front of that large of a crowd in America, but I have not gotten the enjoyment that I get, although I do enjoy it, any time I play in front of a crowd. But to play in front of a village or a school of Pakistani children, the looks on their faces, the hope in their eyes, the smiles on their faces, all of these kinds of reasons. When I'm performing, I'm more enjoying that than anything else.
You're keeping the hope alive and well.
I'm trying my best,
So you work in Pakistan, and obviously there's a lot of red tapes and bureaucrats there, as you do. It's no different than any other country, but they probably have a lot more than in the United States.
In some cases, it's harder and tougher.
It is probably harder and tougher. When you volunteer, what are the challenges do you face? Because A, you're a farmer, B, you don't look like them. Probably wouldn't have made that much a difference anyway if I go there, because I don't speak the language. So
the biggest challenge is having the funds that we need. That's the biggest challenge, because the Pakistan government has never stopped our work ever. We've never been...
So they welcome that.
They have kicked out a lot of NGOs that they suspected or they found doing some financial wrong or some other spying or suspected of this or that. But we have never, in 13 years, we have never been disinvited from anywhere we've worked. In fact, the places that we have been for years, like Swat, they say, please don't ever leave. They beg us never to leave.
And Swat is where?
Swat is a mountainous valley in northern Pakistan where the Taliban and the Pakistan army went in a fight in 2009, and then 3 million people were displaced, refugees from that. And we served them in 2009. Then in 2010, the floods happened there. We went there and started working. We've been working there ever since. They've kicked out a lot of NGOs from Swat. Most of the international NGOs are gone. We are still there because we've been asked to stay there. So we have built up a trust. I think the biggest challenge for us is like you say, the trust deficit with the donor community in the Pakistani community. That is something that
Pakistani American community here.
Yes, that I have to overcome and work. In Pakistan, it's a little different. When you're in Pakistan, people think that Agora is automatically rich and has lots of money, and so they don't donate to me there because
that's the wrong perception.
Yeah, they think I don't have. I own a '96 Chevy Lumina that is only running because two Pakistani American mechanics down the road here, Tahir and Kashif, they keep my car going. When I'm over there, I leave the car with them. They fix it up. Otherwise, it would be in the trash heap by now. And then I own a guitar and a laptop, a few books and clothes, T-shirts. That's all I've got. I don't own not even a house. I don't own a dog house or an outhouse. So, but that is when I'm in Pakistan, people just think I'm lying. They think this guy's, he's putting us on. So there's those feelings that why would we give him money? He should be giving us money. He's the Gora. He's got lots of money. And they just don't know that I really don't. I threw away my music career in the garbage where I made money to do this work. So I didn't have any backup. I didn't have a big bank account full of money to fall back on. I just do the humanitarian work and live day by day and do my best. So those are the challenges I face. In Pakistan, we're not faced with many challenges in doing our work because, as far as anyone stopping us, because nobody has stopped our work. We work wherever we want to. Of course, we collaborate and we have to inform the government of where we're working, especially the army, certain sensitive areas. So those kinds of paperwork things that you have to do, that you should do to register yourself properly, to inform properly on what you're doing. These are things we've had to do, but no one has ever stopped our work or come in our way or made it a problem for us.
Do you have a lot of people working there for you?
We have 35 employees, and we have 600...
And they're all Pakistani?
They are all Pakistani. They are doctors. They are medical technicians, lab tech, x-ray techs. Then I have a logistics crew of people. A lot of them that have worked with me since the earthquake, who I trained to do logistics work. And they do everything from planning our missions to overseeing the delivery of medicines to the disaster missions and all that entails, to taking care of special patients. A few bomb blast victims in the last year. We are working to help their families. There are people that have been paralyzed and injured forever or lost their parents, and we have been taking care of some of these special cases. So this is the kind of stuff that they do on a day-to-day basis. We also have 600 youth volunteers.
Okay, so when you go to Pakistan, where do you stay? Where do you live? You have your own place to stay there?
We have in G13, which is a very inexpensive, out from the center place in Pakistan, where we rent a house for much, much cheaper than in the expensive areas. So we have this very newly developed sector, or actually still developing in G13, that we have a home. We rent a home. The first floor is the office, And then the upper floor is where people live there. And a lot of we have employees from Chitral, from Sindh, from Kashmir, and of course, they live there and stay, and some of them
create a common bond to work together.
Yes.
They all have a shared goal.
Yeah.
And
Some of them live nearby, so they don't actually live at the house, but several do. So we have that camaraderie. Plus, the residential place is also very good for me to hang my hat, but also we have patients that come from the mountains to have a hospital stay, physiotherapy, surgery, and they stay with us. So it's very good to have this residential plus operations center and office all together to do our work. It saves money, and we don't need offices all over Pakistan. We have our youth chapters at universities, and we utilize the space there for the kind of work that we do. So it keeps the cost down. And myself personally, I'm hardly ever at the office. I visited 20 different places in Pakistan my last trip.
Oh my
Plus the Rohingya areas settled in Bangladesh camps.
We all admire and appreciate what you do.
Always on the road. And when I'm US, I'm always on the road too, because I just came in the last 10 days. Seattle, Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
and you got friends,
LA, San Francisco, Dallas, and back. Yeah. I have no house in this world, but because of the Pakistani Americans who support me and their generosity and their love for me and the work I'm doing, I have 10,000 homes.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Todd, for coming here. Thank you, all your wonderful work you're doing to serve Pakistan and in general, serving the communities, serving the world. Well, thank you.
It's an honor to be here, sir.
Yeah. And you subscribe to the notion of President Kennedy, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
This is Frank Islam wishing you a great week, and thank you for watching.